Show us your love and support by clicking on the subscribe button and bell icon so that you don't miss any of our future videos and updates. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending upon when you're listening to this podcast. This is Kunal Sog and you have tuned into FC Social Echo, a platform specially curated and designed for all the poets, storytellers and musicians who can put their talent on display and help all of us reflect on the society. This podcast is brought to you by Frowning a theatre production and a YouTube channel which, if you have not checked yet, please do go ahead and check it out, and do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Alright, without wasting any more time, let's get started with today's podcast. Well, we all have something in our lives that we consider precious. It can be a person, it can be an incident, it can be a relationship, it can be an object, or it can be our jobs. The definition of precious does vary from person to person. So something that's precious to me might not be precious to you. Something that's precious to you might not be precious for someone else. And that's okay as far as we know what's precious to us and we make sure that we hold it close to our hearts. One day I asked my dad if there is anything in this world that would be precious for most of us and not only for a community of people. He said, do not expect water or oxygen as an answer because they are precious only because they are necessary for our life, or else we would not have cared. I smiled. But then he gave me his answer, which no one would disagree with. Can you guess what his answer was? He said, it's the strength, the courage, the power, the energy that a soldier has. This is something that has always been and will always be precious to everyone. It's because of them that we are safe in our countries. I then stumbled upon a poem written by a poet from Shimla. She beautifully talks about a life of a soldier, and she talks about the courage that his family or her family shows when they are not around. So let me introduce you to this beautiful poem written by Geetika.
A soldier. How is she so strong who sends off her husband knowing this might be the last time? How does she spend every second, every minute and every day just waiting by the phone for the one call that I'm coming home would say? How is she so strong when she sees her kids playing around asking for dad? How does she cope up with that one phone call that told her that the news is bad? She lives every day with a fear, yet the honor of being a soldier's wife will not let her shed a tear. How is she so strong who makes a decision of sending her second son to army on funeral of her just martyred eldest one? How is she so strong to receive that flag-covered coffin with her only son? And how does she stand with her head high proud of being a soldier's mom? Where does he get that smile from? Standing on the border, ready to fight. How many times does he look at that picture of his fiancée? How many times he counts the days to take home that flight? How is he so strong to know the destiny and still strive? It was Feb the 14th. People upset for not having a date. When these 42 soldiers got martyred, not knowing their fate. We complain lying on a comfortable bed, a roof on our head. We sleep peacefully cause there is someone guarding our country. taken for granted the sacrifices they make, and then there is one such incident and the entire country shakes. I'm not from an army family, nor I have known someone very close who is, but I still feel this pain. That will again their sacrifice go in vain? Been a week, the months will pass by, and so will the years. Will we see a better tomorrow where there will be no fears? And why there is a need of money to raise for the families who lost? Shouldn't protecting the country be the highest paid job? How is the people relaxing in their couch are paid higher than those for the country, their life they vouch? I am not angry, nor this is a complaint. These are just these thoughts that are driving me insane. Lighting a candle, praying in mass, Facebook posts and hatred march. Even this write-up for that matter, will it change the game? I wish we could just topple the system upside down, with the right head wearing that deserving crown.
I hope and I wish that things change, that our system goes upside down and makes the right head wear the crown. Thank you so much, Geetika, for this amazing poetry. I got goosebumps listening to it. Well, there is no doubt that the armed forces, the soldiers, should be the most precious in all our lives. Because at the end, we are alive and safe because of them, and only because of them. Let's ask Geetika what inspired her to write this powerful poem.
What made me write this poem was the Pulwama attack of Feb the 14th, where our soldiers were martyred even without being in a war. It just made me think that how strong these people are, our frontline heroes who fight for the entire nation without even giving a single thought for their own personal life, their families, their children, their happiness, how selflessly they fight for the nation, and how strong those mothers are who send these young lads to fight to the border, and those wives who just keep thinking when will be the next time when they would see their husbands, those kids who grow with their fathers on the border. So I was just thinking and contemplating that how comfortably we are sitting at home while our soldiers are fighting and sacrificing their lives for the nation. So these are just my thoughts penned down, and I'm sure that all of us can resonate with this. I would just like to salute our frontline heroes, our soldiers, and thank them and be grateful for them for fighting for us. Thank you.
Yes, Geetika, this poem, I'm sure, has resonated with all of us. Through this medium of this podcast, I salute their hard work, their courage, and their selflessness. And I wish more power and strength to them and their families. Well, talking about this reminds me of another war that humanity is currently fighting. In the lockdown phase that we are currently in, trust me, this time is little too precious. Well, it's not only me who is saying it. There is a poet from Mumbai who calls this time a little too precious in her poem. Without wasting any more time, let me introduce you to this sweet poem by Shruthi.
Sounds of the whistling leaves flash upon 1,000,000 times across my calm, serene face. I get up today and look outside the window which was alive and opened up. An alive world of trees, flowers, and skies. Skies full of birds flying in the oblivion. There I stood by the window, smiling away to glory, the hues of the sun touching my warm, sleepy eyes, holding a glass of tea in hot summers and gazing outside with rays full of hope, hopeful thoughts surpassing me in early morning. Voices inside me gushed to talk over. Little did I realize that if I had heard them before, would I be here where I am today? Today is a little too precious. Leaves falling by from the withered trees, feathers of the birds flew through the window, landing on my palms gently and calmly. Noticing the feather, I realized I had kept my hopes burning in for quite some time. A careful message for the day was to fly higher like the birds, sway free like the trees. A ray full of hopes and a heart full of desires. It was indeed time to take off into the world, for today is a little too precious.
That's so well said, Shruti. Calling this moment a little too precious will give all of us strength, hope, and confidence to fight this pandemic. Let's ask Shruti what inspired her to write this poem.
So, what inspired me to write this poem was that during the lockdown days, all of us are staying at home alone and trying to figure out, apart from work, what can be done in our lives. Some are a little bored, some want some other work to do, but the message that I wanted to give to the audience was whatever hopes that you had and whatever offbeat tracks that you wanted to follow in from a very long time, there is message in the universe that now is the time to do it, and anything and everything can be done by staying at home. So this is what inspired me to write this poem, that you can be a go-getter and every day is a little bit more precious. So concentrate on today rather than thinking about future or the past.
Well, yes. Let's try and make this moment a little too precious. Let's try and fight COVID with a smile on our face. And let's try to comprehend what is it that is the most precious thing in our lives. Well, these poems are definitely gonna make me think a lot about a lot of things that are happening in my life. I hope these poems help you reflect on the society and your surroundings as well, because that's the main point of FC Social Echo. With this, we have come to an end. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let us know in the comment section below what you think about this podcast. Do not forget to like and share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to our YouTube channel Frowning Clown, because guys, it's free of cost, and plus you'll get amazing podcasts and videos in future. If you want to be part of these podcasts, fill out the Google form attached in the description below. And until next time, keep smiling and let the clown do the frowning. Bye bye.